You've been staring at your laptop for 10 hours straight. Your eyes burn, your back aches, you've had 4 cups of coffee, and you can't remember if you ate lunch. You tell yourself, just 1 more hour, just finish this one thing. But here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. You're not really working anymore. You're performing work. Clicking between tabs, rewriting the same sentence 5 times, scrolling Slack like it might contain the secret to your exhaustion. And when your body begs you to stop, when every fiber of your being screams for rest, there's that voice, that cruel little whisper. Everyone else is grinding. If you stop now, you'll fall behind. So you don't stop. You keep chopping. But what if I told you that the reason you're falling behind is because you won't stop? There's an old story, a fable really, that changed how I think about work, rest, and what it actually means to be productive. It's called The Axe That Never Cut Wood. And if you've ever felt guilty for taking a break, this story is for you. Picture this. 2 woodcutters arrive at the forest at dawn. Both are skilled, both are determined, both have the same goal, chop as much wood as possible before sunset. Let's call them Woodcutter A and Woodcutter B. The starting gun fires, metaphorically speaking, and Woodcutter A explodes into action. He swings his axe with ferocious intensity. Thwack, thwack, thwack. No hesitation, no pauses, just raw, relentless effort. He doesn't stop for water, he doesn't stop to stretch, he doesn't even stop to wipe the sweat from his eyes. Because in his mind, every second not chopping is a second wasted. Meanwhile, Woodcutter B takes a different approach. He swings his axe steadily, rhythmically even. Thwack, thwack, thwack. But every hour, like clockwork, he stops. He sets his axe down, he sits on a stump, and for 10 minutes he does something. Woodcutter A isn't sure what. From a distance, it looks like he's just sitting there. What a waste, Woodcutter A thinks, shaking his head. While he's resting, I'm getting ahead. So he swings harder, faster. He can feel the exhaustion creeping into his shoulders, but he pushes through it, because that's what hard workers do. They push through. Hours pass. By midday, Woodcutter A notices something strange. His axe isn't biting into the wood the way it used to. Each swing feels heavier, duller. The blade seems to bounce off the trunk instead of sinking in. He has to hit the same spot 3, 4, 5 times to make any progress. But he doesn't stop. He just swings harder. By late afternoon, his arms are trembling. His pile of wood, despite all his effort, despite his refusal to take even a single break, doesn't look as big as he thought it would. And then he glances over at Woodcutter B. The pile next to Woodcutter B is massive, easily twice the size of his own, maybe more. Woodcutter A is stunned, furious even. How is this possible? When the sun finally sets and both woodcutters lay down their axes, Woodcutter A storms over, breathless and bewildered. How did you do it? You stopped every single hour. You were resting while I was working. I never stopped, not once, and somehow you chopped twice as much wood as me. How? Woodcutter B wipes his brow and smiles, a calm, knowing smile. I wasn't just resting, he said quietly. I was sharpening my axe. Let that sink in for a second. Woodcutter A thought productivity was about effort, about pushing harder, working longer, never stopping. But Woodcutter B understood something deeper. Productivity isn't about how hard you swing. It's about how sharp your axe is. And here's the uncomfortable truth that nobody in hustle culture wants to admit. A dull axe swung 1,000 times will always lose to a sharp axe swung 100 times. So let me ask you, when was the last time you sharpened your axe? Because here's what sharpening your axe actually looks like in 2026. It's not scrolling TikTok at midnight and calling it rest. It's not binge-watching Netflix while refreshing your work email every 10 minutes. It's not taking a break, but spending the entire time thinking about everything you're not getting done. Real rest, the kind that actually sharpens your axe, is intentional. It's restorative, and yes, it requires you to fully step away from the thing you're trying to accomplish. Let me give you some examples. Sharpening your axe is getting 8 hours of sleep. Not 5, not 6, 8. Because a sleep-deprived brain is a dull blade. You can work twice as long and accomplish half as much. Sharpening your axe is taking a walk without your phone, without a podcast, without optimizing the experience. Just you, your thoughts, and the rhythm of your footsteps. That's where clarity lives. Sharpening your axe is saying no to the extra project, to the meeting that could have been an email, to the guilt trip from people who mistake your boundaries for laziness. Sharpening your axe is eating a real meal, not inhaling a protein bar at your desk while typing. Sitting down, tasting your food, letting your nervous system know it's safe to stop sprinting. Sharpening your axe is doing nothing, and I mean nothing. Staring out a window, lying on the floor, letting your mind wander without a goal, without a productivity hack, without turning it into content. Because here's what we've forgotten. Rest is not the reward you get after the work is done. Rest is the tool that makes the work possible in the first place. You are not a machine. You are not an algorithm. You are a human being with a body that needs sleep, a mind that needs space, and a soul that needs silence. And when you ignore those needs, when you keep swinging that dull axe because you're afraid of falling behind, you don't just slow down, you break. So if you're watching this video because you feel guilty every time you rest, if you feel like taking a day off makes you weak or lazy or less than everyone else who's grinding, if you've internalized the lie that your worth is measured by your output, I need you to hear this. You are not falling behind by resting. You are falling behind by not resting. The world will always demand more from you. There will always be another email, another deadline, another person who needs something. But you are the only person responsible for sharpening your axe. And if you don't do it, no one else will. So take the break. Go to bed early. Turn off your phone. Sit in the sun for 10 minutes and do absolutely nothing productive. Not because you've earned it. Not because you've finished everything on your to-do list. But because rest is the work. If this video resonated with you, do me a favor, share it with someone who needs to hear it, someone who's been swinging a dull axe for way too long. And if you want more stories like this, stories that help you work smarter, live better, and stop glorifying exhaustion, subscribe and hit the bell. Thanks for being here. Now go rest. You've earned it. Not because you finished the work, because rest is the work.